Well, hello. How's it going, y'all? Happy new to you comic book day. NTYCBD. This is my first new to you comic book day broadcast, I guess. If you don't know what's going on, new comic book day is usually every Wednesday. And so that is a time for retailers to show what's coming out this week. Like, hey, this new issue dropped of the X-Men. You should check it out. But because there are no new issues coming out from Diamond for now, everyone's engaging in new to you comic book day. So it's not actually new, but it's things that you may or may not have already been aware of. So basically, I'm going to go through a couple of my recent favorites, things that I've been enjoying or re-enjoying. So I don't know, maybe there's something you want to check out and get from, if not me, your other local comic book store, because I'm sure all of them need your help. I'm going to clean my little thing. Okay. So yeah, first things first, though, some stuff that I've been interested in recently. Have you guys been playing? It came out several years ago. Alien Isolation is a great horror game that I'm playing on the PS4. I had bought a PS4 for the store quite a while ago, and I bought a bunch of games so that people could play at the shop, and I've had a chance to play almost any of them. So I finally cracked open Alien Isolation, which is a really fun horror game, and I was up till 4 a.m. playing it. It has been so long since I've had a chance to sit and play a game late into the morning. So that's been great. And it's very spooky. It gives me agita, as my mom would say. I'm also trying to figure out, I'm trying to bring up the YouTube since it's going live on YouTube and Facebook to see if anyone comments, I can chat with you or respond. Hi, Sean O'Brien. What's up? So anyway, yeah. So let's see. There's Alien. I've been playing that. Oh, apparently I watch Star Trek now. This is new to me. I've always been a Star Wars guy and a Firefly guy. And recently, because of the Star Trek Discovery, me and my wife blew through the first 2 seasons of that, and that is a bucket of fun. I love that show. And then we jumped directly into Picard, which I'm also really liking. We just finished the first season last night. I'll be curious to see if there's another season. I'm not entirely sure, but if there is, I'll watch it. I never watched Star Trek growing up, really. I would go see the original movies in the theater because my mom liked them, but I didn't grow up on Next Generation or anything like that. My wife, Sushan, she loved Next Generation. She grew up on it. So I'm sure Picard had a lot more emotional resonance for her than it did for me. But I still got emotions. It took a couple of episodes to get going, but once I was in. Loved it. What else? Oh, I bought some decorations for my studio. Since I'll be, the live streaming and whatnot, I might take these posters down because I like kitschy horror so much. I actually do a horror podcast called the Cannibal Horror Cast. But at Retro Go-Go, they sell these really cute classic retro, what would you call them? Decorations you can hang up. Just doing a little jig. There we go. He's got a big old tail. So yeah, got some of that. And then check out these based on the old masks. Check that shit out. So yeah, they're for hanging on your wall, but they're based on the old-timey Halloween masks you used to get. It would have a string on the back, and you would just plop it on your face. Normally, they're more face-sized than this. But yeah, they started making really oversized ones. And I happened to get, they sell them in really nice boxes and everything, but I saw a sale where you can get them without the nice box, which I'm only going to throw out anyway. So I got this one and Frankie. So I got that one at Retro Go-Go. It was one of those things where I guess Instagram ads actually work occasionally because I'd never heard of them. And I saw these and I was like, hell yeah, I'll put these up in my studio. So yeah, anyway, let's get started. There are some things that I wanted to show you that you may not have been aware of. Oh, hey, Zach. Hi, Brian Lieb. First off, I didn't realize this was in print. I thought that this was out of print. So I'm very excited that Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender is back in print. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought for the longest time you could only get it in like an omnibus form. So there are now these X-Force by Rick Remender complete collections, volume 1 and 2. And if you have not read this and you're even remotely an X-Men fan or an X-Force fan, you're missing out. This was awesome. I read this in issues as it was coming out, and I'm getting ready to do a reread. So basically, you've got Deadpool, Wolverine, Phantom X, Psylocke, and Archangel. And if you know who Apocalypse is, he was in that last not-so-great X-Men. No, he was in the second-to-last not-so-great X-Men movie. There have been several not-so-great X-Men movies. And Apocalypse was the guy with the weird stuff all over his face. He was gray. Abin, what's his name? Oh, I forget. He had a name like Abin Sur, but that's not it because that's Green Lantern. But anyway, he is reborn as a child. And so their first mission is to go dispatch this child who's going to grow up to be Apocalypse, who is awful. Kind of like killing Hitler as a baby, except it's a mutant. So this is super fun. And I got to tell you, as a secondary note, I'm not a Deadpool fan. I like the movies because I like Ryan Reynolds, and I think that the writing in those is pretty funny, and the performances are pretty funny. As a character himself, I've never cared about Deadpool, the merc with a mouth. This is my favorite version of Deadpool. I like Deadpool when he's interacting with other superheroes and annoying them. So he's perfect here. He's like the Punisher and the Hulk. I think Deadpool, the Punisher, and the Hulk are three characters who are great when they show up at the end of a comic and you're like, oh no, this person has shown up. How are they going to interact with our hero? But as like an ongoing, those three characters don't keep me for very long. So anyway, this is my favorite Deadpool by Rick Remender. So if you're interested in that, you should check it out. There are 2 volumes. They are $39.99 each, so they're kind of hefty. But I'll tell you what, they're also kind of hefty. So you get a lot of book. This is issues 1 through 19 and issue 5.1 with material from Wolverine, The Road to Hell #1. And it's got art by Jerome Opeña, Raphael Albuquerque, Assad Ribic, Billy Tan, Mark Brooks, Robbie Rodriguez. This is all-star stuff. Highly recommend it. And it was someone had asked me, Cody, my buddy Cody had said, oh, can we still get that, or is that only an omnibus? So I was like, it's probably only an omnibus, but I'll check. So I was delighted to see that this is in print. So ask your local comic shop for it, and you will enjoy it. So that's number 1. Number 2 that I just read a couple days ago, I've been finally okay, here's the thing. I have been looking forward to it with the COVID stuff. I was like, but at least I finally have time to sit down and read all the books that I've been waiting to read. And that was not the case for the first little bit of being housebound and nervous that my shop would fail and not getting any sleep. But recently, I've sort of calmed myself down a little bit, and I've been able to read some books that I've been meaning to get to. And this is Oblivion Song, Volume 1, by Robert Kirkman and an amazing artist, Lorenzo De Felici, who I don't know from anything, but I'm going to look them up and see if they're doing more stuff right now, because this is great. This is another ongoing by Robert Kirkman, who you would know from Walking Dead, and I believe The Irredeemable Ant-Man, which was a fun Ant-Man story from over 10 years ago. And what else is he doing? Oh, Oblivion Song. He's doing Oblivion Song. Outcast, which is a horror book about exorcisms and demonic possession and stuff, which is another good one. Very slow pace, that one, but good. So Oblivion Song, it takes place in Philly. So if you're one of my Philly peeps, you might dig this. I will read you the back. A decade ago, 30,000 citizens of Philadelphia were suddenly lost in oblivion. The government made every attempt to recover them, but after many years, they gave up. Nathan Cole won't. He's so determined. He makes daily trips, risking his life to try to rescue those lost, alone, and afraid, living in the apocalyptic hellscape of oblivion. But maybe Nathan is looking for something else. Why can't he resist the siren song of the Oblivion Song? So this is issues 1 through 6. So basically, in Philadelphia, over 10 years ago, a chunk of Philadelphia was blooped into another dimension, and I believe replaced. I think two pieces of these two dimensions swapped. So we had a bunch of monsters come over here, and then we had 300,000 Philadelphians go to this other dimension that is basically a hellscape. And this dude wearing the badass looking cloak, he has devised a sort of serum that is able to transport him back and forth. And so he keeps going, and he's looking for his brother Ed. And so this was a lot of fun. It is a deliberately paced sort of thing. It's got some action. It's got really cool monster designs. And it's got some intrigue and some twisties that I won't tell you about. But yeah, if you like Kirkman, Oblivion Song might be up your alley. And the cool thing is that usually Image trade paperbacks are only $9.99, which I love. I think most publishers should do the $9.99 for volume 1 if it's an ongoing. Like, I understand if you're getting the whole series, maybe charge more, but if it's the beginning of a series, an ongoing, and you want people to get attached to it or at least try it out, $9.99 is a heck of a price tag. I love it. So anyway, Oblivion Song, something to check out. Oh, people are commenting. Fun. Brian Lee, as I was talking about Apocalypse earlier, and I said Aben Sir, it's N Sabin Nur. Would Brian Lee let me know, as well as Ben? Thank you so much. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Jess Pinkos. Ben recommends Immortal Hulk. It will change your mind about the character. So I was reading Immortal Hulk, which is more of a body horror version of the Hulk. Bruce Banner had been killed right between the eyes, right here, had been killed by Hawkeye during, I think, Civil War. And so we hadn't seen the character for quite a while. And basically Bruce Banner finds out the hard way that he's immortal. Doesn't matter how you try to kill him or the Hulk, he'll just keep regenerating. And it sort of adds an even bigger curse on Bruce Banner, who was already cursed. And he just wanted to die, and he can't. And there's a lot of body horror stuff. So it's more of like a kind of a horror movie version of the Hulk. And that one has been very interesting. I've really been enjoying that one. So when I said earlier, it's hard to keep me reading an ongoing Hulk, there are some exceptions. Also, Planet Hulk is another really good one. Ben says Oblivion Song is a must for me now. Well, let me know, and I will get one in for you, and I will mail it to you because my shop still does mail outs. And Noel says, I'm down to read Immortal Hulk. You should do it. All right, so that's number 2. Now, if you've been paying attention to the podcasts, Cult Pop Podcast, Spoiler Alert, Gutter Talk, or even maybe some of my live streams here, which I'm still very nervous about these. I don't know if you can tell. Jimmy Delfuco says Immortal Hulk is dope. So everyone agrees Immortal Hulk. I should have made that one of my picks. If you want the Immortal Hulk, let me know and I'll order it in for you. I want to say there's like 6 volumes so far, but they're all nice little chunks. Anyway. Ben says, please do. For Oblivion Song. Great. Noel says, read the first chapter of 4. God damn it, Noel. Damn it. You son of a. I was just getting to the. All right. So, as I was saying, if you've been paying attention to any of the stuff that's going on, TKO Studios, we did a whole TKO episode of the Spoiler Alert podcast on the Cult Pop Podcast Network. And basically what they are doing, as well as Black Mask Studios, are doing the thing where if you can't get to your local comic shop or your local comic shop is closed, if you go to tkostudios.com or Black Mask Studios, I'm going to put it up in the thing. Studios.com. I should have had this ready to go. tkostudios.com. So now, hopefully, if I'm doing this correctly, you should see this on your screen. Yeah, go to one of these websites, and basically you can order stuff from their web store, and they will send your local comic book shop half the money. So 50% of whatever you spend will go to your comic shop if you let them know. I think there's a drop-down menu, or you may have to like put in the name of your shop. Mine is Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex. And they will send half the money as if I had as a retailer ordered stock into my store and then sold it to you, they will give me that money, but mail it directly to you. I cannot stress how badass that is. That's so cool. So that being said, two of my favorites from Black Mask Studios is We Can Never, nope, it's backwards. We Can Never Go Home and Four Kids Walk Into a Bank. I believe both are by Matt. No, I see. Oh yeah, Matt Rosenberg. So this is the first thing I ever read from them, and it's probably because of the bright yellow cover. This is one of those instances where the cover actually grabbed my attention and made me want to read the book, made me pick it up. So good on you, whoever designed it. And then because of the strength of Matt Rosenberg's We Can Never Go Home, as soon as this started coming out in issues, I said, well, hot diggity damn, I'm going to get it. So Four Kids Walk Into a Bank. So basically, this one is sort of a punk rock themed love story wherein two mutants, they're not Marvel characters, but they have powers, and they're both outcasts at school, and they sort of fall in love and have an adventure. I'm not going to tell you too much about this one because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, We Can Never Go Home is great. And also, I believe this, he did the same thing. A lot of indie guys, when I was growing up, we would make zine-sized indie comics, and we would make a list of all the songs that would go along with reading this. So there's like a punk rock playlist, I believe, in here, so that you can, I don't know, make a Spotify playlist or something. You know what? I wonder if he made a Spotify playlist. But anyway, this is a nice little one and done, and it is $9.99. So go to blackmaskstudios.com and pick one of these up if you're interested. Also, even better than this one, this is a good start. I think Four Kids Walk Into a Bank is hilarious. This one, it's backwards. This one's not funny. This is like a drama. This one's a comedy about are they in the 70s or 80s? It's been a while since I read it, but basically this group of children, the one's father was a bank robber with a whole gang of bank robbers, and he gave up the life and decided not to do that anymore because now he's got a family. He's trying to be a good dad, and so their child decides to get their friends together, and they're gonna rob a bank for the dad because his old chums come knocking on the door and they're like, we're gonna rob this bank, you have to do it with us. And he's like, nah, brah, I'm not gonna do that. So they decide they're gonna rob the bank, these children, and this is just a bucket of fun. I highly recommend both of these books, but if you got to pick one, I would say go for Four Kids Walk Into a Bank. It's a little bit of Stranger Things with the interactions with the characters. It's very comedic, very funny, but it's got a lot of heartfelt emotion in it as well. And this one is a little more expensive. This is $14.99. And again, Black Mask Studios, Matt Rosenberg. Pick these up. Do it. All right, so there's those. And since Noel, he beat me to the punch. He said, read the first chapter of Four Kids Walk Into a Bank last night, and it's one of the best issues of a comic I've read in years. So if you don't want to listen to me, listen to that guy. He just said it. Hey, Alex. Hey, Tom. Hey, Zeke and Joe. What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. Another one that if you're a close friend of mine or if you come to any of my book clubs, you are well aware that I love a book called Rachael Rising. So this is a horror comic. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Strangers in Paradise or Echo or Motor Girl, but they are all the creations of Terry Moore, who is a longtime favorite of mine. This is a guy who does everything by himself. Well, I mean, I'm sure he's got I don't know. Does he have a letterer? I don't know. I'm under the impression he does everything mostly by himself. And it's all usually black and white with a great amount of detail. And he is one of the first comic book artists when I was growing up as a kid, as a young teen, I guess, who I noticed drew women who look like they actually have organs in their bodies. And when they, maybe they've got some curves, maybe they're a little they got a little extra in the middle, you know what I mean? Like most of us do. And when they bend over, their rolls happen and they've got thick arms and stuff. They just felt like real women. So that was a big deal to me when I was a kid. The fact that he would draw women who look like people I've seen in real life. You know, I don't want to take anything away from other artists who draw a very stylized man and women physique. But it really struck me. Strangers in Paradise really struck me. So this is his more recent graphic novel series, Rachael Rising. Now, the problem with this is that this is volume 1 at $16.99. I highly recommend it. I didn't even tell you what it's about yet, but I'll get to that in a second. But I think most of the volumes are out of print. You may be able to get them on Terry Moore's website, which damn it, I should have Googled this. I'm going to look up Terry Moore Comics and see what his website is, because I forgot to do this ahead of time. Abstract Studios. So he's got, I guess it's basically his own comic distribution center called Abstract, or comic publishing. And that is Abstract Studios, abstractstudiocomics.com. So I'm gonna abstract. Oop, that's not how you say it. Spell that word. Studiocomics.com. Bam. abstractstudiocomics.com. I highly recommend literally anything that Terry Moore has put out. Strangers in Paradise, Echo is his sci-fi book, and Rachael Rising is his horror novel. So basically, Rachel, the main character, the titular Rachel, wakes up in a shallow grave in the woods, having been murdered the night before. So she digs herself out and has to figure out who murdered her, why she's still alive despite being murdered, and all the other spooky stuff that's going on in this town. So volume 1 is still available. If the rest of them aren't, if you can't get them, go to abstractstudiocomics.com. Or what I can get you is the Omnibus, which is the whole thing. This is cool. This is not the one I can get. This is the one I bought directly from Terry Moore. It's got the nice printing with the, what is that called? Spot varnish. Look at that spot varnish. Rare. And it came with a free print signed by Terry Moore. So this is the big hardcover of Rachael Rising that I purchased from Terry Moore. This I don't think is still available through comics distributors, but what I can get you is the $55 soft cover omnibus, which has the entire series in one go. I am about halfway through it, and I love it. Sushan, my wife, read it the other night. I think she read, because she had read the same first half that I read originally, and then the other night sat down on the couch and blew through the entire rest of the book in one sitting. So highly recommend it. If you like some witchy stuff, if you like spooky stuff, if you like little girls that murder people, I highly recommend it. So you can get that at abstractstudiocomics.com. Or if you want to just try the first one for now, let me know and I will get it in for you and mail it directly to your face. So yeah, those are some options. Let's see. Any more? Joe says, oh, hey, man. Hey, Joe. RJ, what's going on, buddy? Oh, Kyer. Eric Carlson says, 4 kids rules. Rachael Rising is fantastic and darkly humorous. So I'm glad I like it when people agree with me. I'm glad we're all on the same page. Now, my final one for today, because I don't want to keep it too long. I can't be that interesting. Is something that you've probably already heard of, and maybe you've already read it, so whatever. But if you haven't yet, I highly recommend Saga. Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and, what's her name? Fiona Staples is an ongoing sci-fi dramedy fantasy. I don't know, man. It's every genre in one. If there's a genre, it's probably in this series. Now, this is the big hardcover volume 1. You don't necessarily need this. This is $50. But if you want to just try it out, Saga Volume 1, I want to say is like $9.99, just like the other Image books. But Brian K. Vaughan is one of my favorite writers, up there with Jason Aaron and Donny Cates and Neil Gaiman. And this is hard to describe. People have asked me, what's the book about? And so I would say it's kind of star-crossed lovers. You've got two warring races, intergalactic races. I believe it's an alien race and their moon are warring at each other. And it's been going on for millennia, so long, in fact, that they've started outsourcing their war to other people to fight it for them. And so we've got the two main characters meet in a jail because the one gets arrested and put in jail, and she's his jailer. And so they sort of connect while he's in jail, and then she breaks him out, and they have a baby together, and they're on the run, and everyone's trying to get them because they've made this abomination baby. A baby nation? That doesn't make any sense. But what a cute little tidbit. So when the first book was released, the image for it, it was the main characters, and the woman is breastfeeding her baby. And you don't really see anything. It's just there's a baby attached where her boob is, and she's breastfeeding because that's how breastfeeding works, I've been told. And there was a big backlash of some people online who were mad. They're mad that this woman was feeding her baby on a cover of a comic book. So when it was time to collect the first however many issues into a big hardcover, they doubled down. And so basically half of the book is a boob and the baby is breastfeeding. And I just thought that was I was almost at the tits. It was the bee's knees. So they got props for me on that. I think that's hilarious. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Saga, I highly recommend it. If you haven't checked out any of these other books, like Rachael Rising, abstractstudiocomics.com, you can get it there. Or you can contact me and I will make sure to get it for you. And Black Mask Studios, you can go to them and pick up We Can Never Go Home and Four Kids Walk Into a Bank. And if you let them know the name of my shop, Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex, they will send me half of your purchase money, which is amazing. And what else? Oh, Oblivion Song from Image Comics by Robert Kirkman. If you like the apocalypse and monsters, check this out. And Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender. One of my all-time favorite X-Force run. The new one is pretty good. That's been coming out ever since the Hickman Hoxpox stuff, the House of X stuff. But this one is probably my favorite. Zeke says Romeo and Juliet, when I was talking about Saga. Jimmy Del Fuco says Saga is fantastic. And Zeke says Saga is near perfect. Ben says, I've heard nothing but great things about Saga. I have continued that trend. I have told you some more great things about Saga. Oh, about Saga. It is pretty violent and sexual. So it's not for the children. Definitely don't buy Saga for the kids. The big boob on the front of the cover probably gave that away. But it's pretty graphic at times, which is fun. I like it. I like some graphics sometimes. Hi, Brian Anderson. So yeah, what else? What else do I want to tell you folks? Oh, tonight is Wednesday. All night, it's going to be Wednesday. Until midnight, it's going to be Wednesday. But tonight, this evening at 8 o'clock, we are doing a movie club. So every month when my shop was open to the public, I would host a book club. And we would get together the first Tuesday of every month for book club, and we would read the book that month, and then we would get together and discuss it. So we've been doing that online, but people are so bored and enjoying it so much that we're now doing book club every other week. But we're also doing, on the alternating weeks, movie club. So 2 weeks ago, we all got together on Zoom, I think, and we discussed a comedy called, what was it called? It was really funny too. Booksmart. It was Booksmart. I think it was directed by Olivia Wilde, which was really funny. We got together and we chatted about it. Tonight at 8 o'clock, we're going to be talking about Parasite. So if you haven't seen that yet, you got a couple of hours. I'm going to go rewatch it because I saw it in the theaters. And then at 8 o'clock, I'll lead a discussion on Zoom about Parasite, and we can talk about that. Also, a week from tonight, we're going to be doing another book club, and I'm trying to remember what we did. Oh, Rick says, glad to hear your voice. Hi, Rick. Taylor, what's up, buddy? Brian says, hey. And Zeke says Saga is a very graphic novel. Do you get? We get it. It's funny. I don't remember what book club is right now. I get so flustered in front of this camera. Last time we did Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me, which if you haven't read, Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me is a great romance, like a high school romance. I really like this one. Gosh, what was the book? Someone tell me what the book is. I'm floundering. I'm going to ask my wife. Hey, wife, what's book club? Oh, it's Sarah. It's Sarah from TKO Studios. Thank you, wife. So a week from tonight, we will be talking about Sarah from TKOstudios.com. If you don't have it, again, you can go to TKOstudios.com, order it, order a bunch of stuff because they're all good, and then they will send me half the money of your purchase. But this is a Garth Ennis war story drawn by Steve Epting. If there's two things Garth Ennis is great at, it's gross out humor and also really sad war stories. So this is the latter. This is a really, I don't know if it's sad. I've only read the first issue so far, but I can't imagine it's a feel-good hit. So yeah, I would definitely read Sarah and then join us a week from tonight at 8 o'clock on Zoom. Or if you've already seen Parasite or want to watch it today, tonight at 8 o'clock, we'll be discussing that as well. I have a Facebook group called JD's Hero Complex Book Club. And that sort of encapsulates both book club and movie club. So if you don't know how to get to it, if you can't find it, please just instant message me or text me or call me, send me a smoke signal, whatever you want to do. And I'll get back to you with the link. Last time we got Zoom bombed, I got excited because there's like a section of the website where I can see as the host all of the people joining. And I'm like, oh, I know this person, I know this person, I know this, and I would let them in. And then as we're talking, I see like 5 more people show up, and I'm like, oh, we got a bigger book club this time. And turns out it was just jerks. And so once I let them in, they were running rampant, and we had to close the whole thing down and then restart it. It was a bummer. So that was the first time that ever happened. I did not enjoy it. The book club itself was great. I guess that's it, you guys. Oh, Eric said, great. Nice, I just ordered that. Oh, did you order Sarah? You should join us for book club because it doesn't matter where you are. It's on the internet. All right, guys, that's it. New to you comic book day. So thank you for joining me. Please support your local comic shops if you can. Oh, you know what? One note before I go. Speaking of supporting your local comic shops, if you don't have the money to support your local comic shops and you're just struggling to eat some food, but you still want to read some comics, I would also recommend if you go to another website called Panel Syndicate, PANELSYNDICATE. I'm going to throw it up on the screen real quick because this is important. Yeah, if you can't afford to go to TKO Studios and spend $20 for a volume, or Black Mask Studios, as I said earlier, Brian K. Vaughan, the writer of Saga, one of my favorite writers, he's also doing this really cool thing at Panel Syndicate. So what they're doing is they are putting out digital comic books. I floundered on the word digital comic books. That is, pay what you want. So if you go there, you could get Barrier, which I highly recommend, by Brian K. Vaughan and Marcos Martin, as well as Private Eye by the same guys. And there's a new one that just started. Issue number 1 just dropped last week, and it's called Friday. And I believe that's by Ed Brubaker. And yeah, you can get those and download them and read them and just pay whatever you want. Pay whatever you're comfortable paying. But, you know, we keep talking about helping your local comic shops. And if you can't, and you just want to get something that's kind of cheap that you can afford, these guys are out there doing an amazing thing, so that you can just read something and take your mind off of all this nonsense that's going on, and hopefully stay home and stay safe and comfortable and read some good comics. I've read a bunch of stuff that's on there, and it's all great. So I highly recommend it. Panelsyndicate.com. Check them out. Download some stuff. Or if you can, if you're flush with cash and you just want to make it rain, you can go to TKO Studios, Black Mass Studios. You can call my shop or text me or message me and get a gift certificate. I'm still doing mail outs. So anything you need, please let me know. I'm here to order those things for you. Thanks for hanging out and actually chatting with me. This is the best. It's so alone if no one's here. Brian Anderson says, I highly recommend Barrier. So definitely check that out. And that's it. Thank you so much, guys. Please reach out if you need anything. Or if there's anything that you want me to recommend on here, maybe we could do maybe I'll start doing a thing where I Skype with people and we can talk about your favorite stuff. So if you're interested in that, let me know and we can do a little thing together. I guess that's it. I got to go play more Alien Isolation. My heart has finally calmed down. That game scares the crap out of me, especially at night, 3 a.m. Spooky. That's it. I'm rambling. Love you guys. I hope everyone's staying safe and being healthy. And that's it. Love you. And I'll talk at you later. End broadcast. Click. Yes.